Hello and welcome to The Prince of Nothing. It's another one of the Vampire Game Jam thingamajigs. This one looked really funny. I think we get to play as a Nosferatu, which will be fun. Choose your name, Creepstain. Is that our default name? You know what? Let's keep it. Well, we're gonna keep it. I like it. Yeah.
Dear Diary, I hate you. I hate you because you are a microcassette recorder from grandma times. I am only talking to you because I am bored out of my mind because my sire found and took my phone, which itself is a reminder of what a state of shitty, useless limbo I'm in. The whole reason they made me a vampire was so I could do IT work for them. So I could help them modernize, which I haven't been able to do for years now. I got to be a sysadmin on ShrekNet for all of 1 week before the NSA found it and we shut everything down in a panic. Now we're not even supposed to use computers anymore, which is a ridiculous overcompensation, which they'd know if they'd ever paid attention to me and let me do my alleged job.
Yeah, so, ShrekNet was a thing that was created, before Shrek. But it was created during Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the first game, that really old game that's very glitchy and stuff. And it was something that some of the Nosferatu put together in order to, like, you know, have a foothold on the internet, which was still a new thing at that point in time. I think that game was kind of set in the 90s or something. But obviously, after that game took place, somewhere in between there, the NSA, which I think is the new, it's a group of hunters, basically, a group of highly organized hunters that, you know, want to kill vampires. They cracked into the ShrekNet and we're starting to use it to, like, basically reverse figure out where all the vampires were and hunt them down. And so that had to be shut down, clearly. And now all of the elders are really freaked out because internet is this magic thing they don't understand. And so no internet for vampires, essentially.
Instead, my sire has me holed up in the utility rooms above the Squirrel Hill Tunnel, eating pigeons and PennDOT workers and studying vampire etiquette and other useless dog shit.
The car is on its way. Let's not keep them waiting.
Peak voice acting work. I love it.
Well, speaking of fucking devil.
Elysium will be quite crowded tonight. The prince has finally returned, and every kindred in Pittsburgh will have business with him. You'll have quite an audience for your becoming ceremony.
I don't actually know what a becoming ceremony is. That's above my head. I also don't know why he's a puss bag. I don't have an answer to this question.
Jesus Christ, are you still not dressed yet?
I'm dressed.
That's us. Okay, I love this game.
I am not presenting you to Matthias Kuhn wearing that. We have to convince him that you will behave yourself as an independent neonate. Really, I go through all the trouble of finding you some suitable evening wear, and...
That stuff wasn't me! Look, it's not like I'm gonna look good either way. If he has to see me to sign off on me, he can go ahead and see me. This is me. He can take it or leave it.
Yeah. I probably have explained before, but I'll explain again. Nosferatu, that's this guy here. Their horrible curse of their particular bloodline is that they look like this. I mean, the variations of this, but they look like this. They look horrible, and they can't walk around in public anymore. Obviously, anyone who sees them is like, that's not a human! You know, big issue. Each vampire clan, bloodline clan, whatever, has their own specific, like, weakness. Some of them are very not subtle like this one. Remember I played another of these games a while ago where we played as a Malkavian, and Malkavian's weakness is that they are insane. I'm pretty sure I did talk about that on that particular video game, but like each of them have their own issues and weaknesses, and this is us.
Ho, you're not taking this seriously. This flippancy endangers us both. You may not care for kindred politics, but those who ignore it cannot survive. I had thought that your becoming was long overdue, but clearly you still need more time.
I wonder if becoming is basically like him saying for a fact that I belong to this group. I have become one of them, kind of sort of situation. Like he swears loyalty. That's what it sounds like.
Right here. We will speak after I return.
Oakley dokley.
Dear Diary, you just missed my sire chewing me out for not
That's his
dressing up
sire?
enough for my stupid fucking vampire quinceanera.
Okay, okay. It's basically a thing saying that he's swearing loyalty or something along those lines. He's coming of age. Something along those lines. That was his sire? His sire looks worse than him. Oh. Oh no.
So, whatever. We'll get it over with some other time when I'm not being gawked at by everyone in town. They weren't gonna respect me no matter what I did. I'm young, I'm weak, I'm ugly, and I'm only good at something that I'm not allowed to do anymore. I'll never be important. I'm a fucking joke.
Oh, Pabs. It's okay.
Tonight, I guess I'll just go to the window and watch the cars passing under me again. I don't care anymore. Dear Diary. So, my sire didn't come back that night. Or the night after that. Or the night after that. He's trying to give me a scare. I won't give him the satisfaction of panicking. I'm going for a walk.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling that a lot of people died and he was left out of it because he stayed at home.
I guess it's kind of fitting that the one good vampire power I have is not being noticed.
Yep.
I just sort of melt into the background and walk up Forbes. People even weave around me as though they could see the rotten little goblin coming at them.
So, Nosferatu, some other vampires have this power too, but it's, and I forget the name of it, but it's something that basically could be considered stealth, but it's more like they have the power to make people not notice them. It's not that they become invisible, it's just that they convince people that they don't exist. Sort of illusion, I guess, sort of thing. So he can sort of walk around a bit using that power. But, like, if anyone saw him without that power, they would be freaking their minds out.
I'm hungry. Maybe that's what Pussbag was aiming for. Sending me to bed without dinner for my little outburst. I'll figure something out at some point. Squirrel Hill doesn't have much in the way of nightlife, but maybe there's a squirrel or something. Where else would all the squirrels be hiding?
Nosferatu are also known as rat eaters, something along those lines, because they are the ones who will most often be eating rats and other small vermin. Sewer rats, that type of thing. They can handle the blood that's in there. It doesn't taste really well, but like that's what's most available to them, because you know they can't generally be out among people very easily. Even with this power, like there are limits to it. So
Here's a candlelight vigil. Wonder what it is this time. I started looking for newspapers.
Lawrenceville fire. Fire may be linked to domestic terror. Oh, fire.
Hey, wait. That's where the vampires were having their big Elysium.
Oh, shit! Dude, you're the last one left. The sudden fire that broke out in an abandoned industrial complex in Lawrenceville on Saturday night, already under arson investigation, now suspected to have housed a weapons stockpile for extremist militia group, according to an FBI press release. Oh!
Well, fuck?
You're alone.
Dear Diary, I checked out the place. Then I checked every haven I know about. Yeah, they're all dead. Pussbag, the Prince, the Primogens, everyone. They got raided. Now that some government types know about us, this stuff has been happening. Vienna, London, and now I guess they're getting around to buttfuck nowhere cities with like 12 vampires in them. Yeah, there were only like 12 of us tops, and from what Pussbag was saying, they were all at Elysium. All but me. I am the last vampire in Pittsburgh. You know what that means? I'm the prince, baby! Woo!
It's a good way of looking at it.
Dear Diary, Matthias Kuhn's old haven is hidden under the Carnegie Museums. Seems kind of a risky place with all the guards and cameras right above us, but maybe that was the idea. I gotta admit, the location does feel very princely. So, this is where I'll be holding court. There's not much here in the way of luxuries. The old fart barely spent any time here, but I'll make it my own. Starting with better security. It was way too easy to get in here. Hey, I wonder if the guards are in on it. The old prince was a Ventru, I think, had all the classy powers. You could have put a whammy on them, or just paid them so much they didn't care. Two things I am not in any position to do right now.
Yep, Venture have the powers to dominate the minds of others and just be like, you will do this thing! And then they will do that thing for the most part. Unless it goes against their character or something along those lines. If it goes against their character, it's much more difficult to get them to do things. Like, you can't convince someone to kill their best friend. That it doesn't work that way. There are probably some powers that can get around that, but it doesn't work very easily that way. But yeah, he's probably right.
So I don't know. Should I pop out and say hi?
No. Do not do that. No.
This could go wrong in so many different ways. Let's just leave them be. After all, they're already working for me, kind of. They're protecting this place from anyone less competent than me. I bet some people like that exist.
I love this character.
I'll make this place work. I'm not gonna try to run this town from a shitty utility room over a tunnel. When I do eventually find other vampires, I know I'll have to convince them that I'm really in charge. And it'll help if I'm sitting on the old throne and, you know, doing all that princely shit, keeping the city in good condition. I should also try to keep myself sane. I think I've got that one down. When I used to ask Dr. Gray if she thought I was sane, she said that it wasn't helpful to think of mental health as a binary, which I think actually means I was doing awesome, but she wasn't allowed to admit it. So what now?
Search for vampires online. They're supposed to be there, but hey, it'd be easier. Could search for my old cops canvas for easy prey and obvious predators. Search for something useful among the nightlife and old money downtown, but that stuffy old method had contacts in the theater district. I like this idea.
Dear Diary.
I like him talking to himself like this.
Try poking around downtown on a Saturday night with my powers on. A lot of old people going to shows. Some kind of party going on at the William Penn.
Why is your voice quiet? Speak up, my dude.
Gotta be real, I'm not sure where to start. I can't just ask people if they're vampires. And if any of them are, they're probably the type to take their prey up to their rooms, not just tackle them in a back alley and tuck in. I got an idea. If anyone's going to be doing spooky vampire shit in a space I can easily get to, they're gonna be doing it in the Duquesne Club. It's like the old school gentleman's club that the Steel Barons used to go to. My dad was a member for a little bit when we still had money. Real classy. Doesn't even have any strippers. I go through the revolving doors. There's probably cameras. There are vampires whose powers are strong enough to prevent people from noticing them on camera footage. And I've been practicing, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. Without humans to test it on, there's no way to be sure. So, instead, I pretend to talk to the guy at the front desk, shoot him some finger guns, and go right up the stairs. If I'm gonna get this guy fired, I might as well have some fun with it.
Excellent. Excellent work.
I go from room to room, trying to overhear something spooky. Not a lot of people here. Some old people eating dinner. They're not vampires. Maybe the guy's playing pool? That's a nice, urbane thing to talk about murder over. Now listen in for a bit. Wow, they are talking about some dumb shit. This one's talking about Christian rock. Is this the kind of fucking tools they're letting in these days? Okay, focus. You want to be a good prince, you gotta see past all the stereotypes. Like the stereotype that all vampires are cool and sophisticated.
I would love to see a Nosferatu prince. I mean, yeah, he's technically a prince, but I would love to see one just like, ancient Nosferatu, Prince of a City. I would love to see it.
Oh boy, is that one wrong. Maybe these dude bros will start talking about Camarilla stuff any minute now, and I can
see you, you know.
Oop. Don't mind me. I'm getting a drink.
We should speak. This way. I have a room.
Hey, did we find one? We found one.
Jackpot, it has found my first subject. And I know what you're thinking, and fuck you. This is clearly not about that. He could see me, which means he has powers, and it also means that he can, see that I look like a melted hobo.
I was searching for one such as you. My name is Akil. I am the ghoul of the late Justine Laurent. I thank you so for coming to my deliverance.
Fuck, he's just a ghoul. A living guy addicted to vampire blood. And he worked for the Toreador Brimogen.
Toreadors are people that really like art, basically. They get really attached to art so much that they can't focus on anything besides the art they like.
But, hey, maybe he knows stuff. I know he'll be loyal because it's sure looking like there ain't nobody else around here passing out vampire blood. Of course, it's the least I could do. I'm the new Prince of Pittsburgh, you know. The name's child of the late Pussbag Jeffries. Maybe you saw him around. Tall guy, looked like a pile of shit.
He shall be sorely missed, my prince.
He just immediately goes along with it.
Okay, I have to admit, finally being called that is really cool. I could get used to this. Maybe this guy's alright.
The thing is, if I understand this correctly, ghouls can sometimes take on some of the powers of the vampires they get blood from. So he might be a Toreador ghoul, but drinking the Nosferatu blood, he'll probably end up being a bit different if he does that for long enough.
I am yours to command, if you would but grant me a taste of vitae. Not for my own sake, but only that I might serve you better. Too much longer and my true age may start to catch up to me.
Alright.
Sure, hold on. I just gotta saw my arm open a little with my keys.
Please, oh prince, take my pocket knife.
Do I tell you how to do your job?
You could if you so wished. Oh, yes. Sweet deliverance.
Alright, keep it together now. Don't talk with your mouth full. I got Matthias Kuhn's old place in Oakland back up and running.
It's certainly more lived in than it was when I last saw it. Have you been sleeping here, oh prince?
Yeah, I found this big bag of museum-branded can cozies in the supply closet. It's actually a pretty nice bed.
Would my prince care for any, additional creature comforts? Furniture? Clothing? Willing and open-minded paramours?
I'm sorry, what?
I meant no offense, my prince. Though their instincts have changed, many kindred find it comforting, humanizing even, to hearken back to a time when the exaltation of life took a kindlier shape.
a sharing rather than a taking.
He's talking about like bringing back a person that would be willing to have their blood drank by a vampire, and not just taking it.
I'm gonna ask again. What?
You did make love before your embrace?
Oh, they're talking about actually making love. Okay.
Wait, are you talking about sex?
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
having it.
Pabs, creep
having
stain,
sex.
Pabs.
Old sex hammer, that's what they used to call me.
Pabs.
I shall change the subject. At least let me fashion you a change of clothes.
What's wrong with my clothes?
My prince, before I ask this, I need you to know that this does not come from a place of judgment.
He's being so
You have the
careful
outfit
right
you
now.
died in.
He's trying to be so careful about it.
Isn't that obvious? Look, I have a hard time finding things that fit me. New clothes are itchy. Fuck you.
Your claim to praxis over Pittsburgh is still a tenuous one. Every small step toward legitimacy will aid you. The prince must look the part, yes? Let me help you. Something small may save your unlife one night.
Wow.
Okay. Change of clothes. Bam, bam, bam. It is true that the drinking of the blood of the ghoul makes him automatically loyal to Creepstain. So
Does getting someone's measurements usually take this long?
I was not paying attention.
My apologies, O Prince. The measuring tape is adhering to you more than most.
Oh, he's sticky and gooey. Oh, give him a bath.
Remember, keep it simple. Wow.
My vision given form. Raiment fit for a true prince.
Hey, I never actually told you what my gender was, did I?
And I did not ask. Fashion is fashion, and high fashion commands respect. Do you like it?
Christ, look at him. He's so proud of it.
Actually, let's do this. Let's change it to a tux.
There we go. Nice middle ground. I still kind of hate it, but it'll do.
Oh, I like it. It looks good.
You say that your sire chose that for you.
Yeah.
And did he know what your gender was?
He was never that good a listener. To be fair, his ears were pretty deep in his head flaps. So what now?
Let's see. find a new therapist. Let's find other vampires. Hey.
Dear Diary, I have exercised my princely prerogative and bought myself a new burner. Which means I don't really need you anymore, but what the hell. I guess you remind me of old Puss Bag.
I'm still so weirded out by the fact that he was literally like a pus bag. Normally Nosferatu looked like this guy, not whatever he was.
I also found what I think is one of the sheriff's old PCs in a supply closet and rigged it up on the prince's desk. I think the network connection will be secure enough for what I need it for. I can do this right. I can prove that the Camarilla was overreacting to the NSA finding ShrekNet. We, Nosferatu, get all the blame for that whole fucking thing, and for the record, that's bullshit. We were saddled with an impossible task. Ask any cybersecurity expert, and they'll tell you that the weak point in any network is the users. And literally everyone was using ShrekNet. Neonates who had never heard of the dark web before, and elders who had never seen a fucking computer before. Nobody was being trained. Everyone just figured the admins could make it safe entirely from our end.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Even our enemies were on ShrekNet. Fucking Samishi were getting their ghouls to run broadband cables into their castles. Once a fugitive on the red list did an AMA.
I think red list means like someone has like a kill order out for them, and they just like had an AMA on like Reddit or something.
But now it's just me. A fresh start. No more mistakes, no more eternal October, no more idiot elders keeping passwords on sticky notes in their coffins. I'll be fine. So let's see what I can find.
I feel gaslit by the world, you know? Pop culture, modern medicine, science. Even our language is built in to make my exact problems sound ridiculous. I should have known it was too late to get help, even here. I'm all alone in the night, and I know deep down the sun will never rise for me again.
This one's laying it on a little thick. But then again, I've heard real vampires you lay it on thicker. I guess something about the embrace makes your prose start to run a little purple. So I don't know. Is this a new thin blood who drifted into town, or just some kid? Or am I getting catfished by the Second Inquisition?
I was just trying to see if I can save the game. I guess I can't.